Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the AppExchange 2 webinar. My name is Mark Trang. I am part of the Salesforce.com team here, and I'm joined by my colleague, Ryan Ellis, who is the product manager for the AppExchange, and also joined by both a customer who probably many of you know, Pete Fife from US Loan Advisors, and one of our partners, ServiceMax, who's built some interesting applications, and we're going to show you all of these things today on today's call. I want to remind everyone that Salesforce.com is a publicly traded company, and this is our safe harbor statement. We will be talking about future products and features and functionality, and that we want to urge you to make your buying decisions based on what's currently available. So here's the agenda. I think people are going to be pretty excited about some of the news that we've talked about in the past weeks around AppExchange. So what we're going to do is step you through some of those highlights and really dive deep on two specific pieces of updates around AppExchange, both Aloha apps as well as the Chatter Exchange on the AppExchange, and tell you a little bit more about how those will drive success for both your internal CRM applications as well as any custom apps that you build. And then we will also take a look at both some Spring 10 and Summer 10 feature highlights about the AppExchange, and then we'll wrap up with AppExchange Q&A at the end. As always on Salesforce.com's calls and webinars, we use the GoToWebinar console for questions and answers. So anytime throughout the call, if you want to send us a question, we have a team here that can answer either logistical questions or other questions related to the call. And then what we'll do is queue up some of these more frequently asked questions and answer them live at the end of today's webinar. So with that, I wanted to level set the audience. We've got close to 2,000 people registered for this webinar, so I want to make sure that for the first-timers on the call that they understand and know what AppExchange is. If you haven't visited AppExchange lately, there are a number of new developments, including lots of new applications and also new services, services that experts from our consulting partner community list and market on the AppExchange. Similar to iTunes, if you're familiar with iTunes and Apple's products, think of AppExchange as the iTunes for business applications when it comes to cloud computing. All of the applications are reviewed by Salesforce.com, so you can trust them. And the great part is that it's very, very easy to search and try and install these applications if you're Salesforce.com customers. And the great part, beyond just applications that help you make your CRM and your Sales Cloud and Service Cloud run better, there's a number of new types of applications that have been released both by Salesforce and our partner community that help drive new levels of success in other departments within your company, things related to accounting, finance, HR, supply chain management, etc. And so since the inception of AppExchange in the beginning of 2006, we've seen customers use it in a number of ways. And the great part is all of the applications are pre-integrated, so it's very, very easy to install and deploy them in a matter of clicks. So we've seen customers use a lot of the free and low-cost add-ons just to get a little incremental value, a lot of the utilities that make your jobs easier, whether you are the end user or perhaps the admin of your org. We have also released a number of free templates via our Force.com's labs team. So it's actually a team here at Salesforce.com that builds these applications and releases them for free on the AppExchange to help you get started and really optimize some of your processes. And obviously we have a large partner ecosystem that has built a number of both CRM applications, whether it is integration or email or marketing automation, incentive management related, or applications that take you beyond CRM into areas like IT help desk and project management, finance and accounting, as well as a whole host of consulting services providers who can help you get more out of all these applications by delivering outstanding consulting and professional services. And that's a new area that we announced last fall that I think if you haven't been to the AppExchange lately, you'd be pretty surprised that many of our top consulting partners now have a storefront, if you will, on the AppExchange via services listings. And the great part about this, similar to how applications are rated, we expose lots of interesting information about the partner and, more importantly, their project performance that they've actually delivered to their customers so that you can make informed decisions about who to select to help you get more out of Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, and even potentially help you build new custom applications via the Custom Cloud. So hopefully that gives you a sense, a quick background on the AppExchange if you are a new customer and have not visited the site. The great part about AppExchange is that there is a lot of the reviews are driven by the community. So we urge you, if you haven't been there in a while, to take a look and explore what's new and also contribute back to the community your experience so that you can share your best practices with your fellow admins and your fellow users. With that, we're going to step into some of the highlights around our AppExchange 2 launch that we announced in early April. Some of the two big highlights include two new categories on the AppExchange. The first is called Aloha Apps, and the second category is called Chatter Apps. So many customers have probably heard about Chatter. It is going GA sometime this summer for all of our customers. So it's very exciting both as an end user, but the great part is that we're bringing the power of Chatter to some of the applications that are going to be available on the AppExchange. So let's walk through these and tell you a little bit more about both Aloha and Chatter. So Aloha Apps is something that we're very, very excited to announce earlier in April. This is based on direct feedback from many of our customer users. The challenge today prior to Aloha Apps is that some applications are very, very big in terms of their footprint. So they consume a lot of both apps, tabs, and objects. So depending on what edition you're using as a Salesforce.com customer, installing just a few apps on the AppExchange, particularly the big ones, you may actually end up using up all of your system limits. With Aloha Apps, based on your feedback, you wanted a new category of applications that didn't count against your system limits, specifically the apps, tabs, and object limits. So regardless of what product edition you're on as a Salesforce.com customer, if you install these Aloha apps off the AppExchange, none of them count against your limits. And the great part is that we got started with a great collection of over 350 applications that are considered Aloha apps, and it's very easy to find these by visiting appexchange.com/Aloha. And so why should you install Aloha Apps? Many of customers that may not have installed an AppExchange app or have done custom development within your actual org, you may not have bumped against these limits. But depending on what product edition you're on, it's very easy to see that some of the apps, tabs, and object limits may prevent you from getting more success out of your Sales Cloud and Service Cloud deployments. And so we don't want to get in the way of that when it comes to the AppExchange. So when you go to the AppExchange, look for the Aloha apps, and you won't have to worry about hitting these limits. And so how do you find them? Besides going to the appexchange.com/Aloha page, all the individual listings of these Aloha apps have a new designation. So look for the Aloha app flower on the listing, and that will give you kind of the confidence to know that as a customer, when you install these, you don't have to worry about these counting against your apps, tabs, or object limits. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to our first customer speaker, Pete Fife. And maybe, Pete, you can take a few moments to introduce yourself and then talk a little bit about how you plan on using Aloha Apps for your CRM success.
Great. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. So this is very exciting to me. You can see I've been around for a while, and here at my new company, U.S. Loan Auditors, this is my fourth company that I've been working, as a Salesforce administrator on. So I've kind of gone through, I've seen AppExchange come out. I'm very excited about this, and it's a very interesting story about Aloha Apps because most definitely have an interesting story to tell around it. And give you a little background about what U.S. Loan Auditors does. We're a business to consumer, and what we do is we provide a in-depth forensic audit on mortgage loans to help people identify if there's any fraudulence in your loan documentation that, so if you got into a bad loan rate or so forth, people aren't being able to make mortgage payments, we go in and we do an audit on their mortgage. So interesting process. I've come from the Silicon Valley. I was the Silicon Valley user group leader for, some time out there. I know a lot of you guys out there have been to every Dreamforce. And I've always worked in the high-tech companies for, Fortinet, Phoenix, and Marapoint. And I've always bumped into the tab limit. We're always on enterprise, 25 tabs. I've always been able to usually install enough stuff in there and bump against it. And, so from that standpoint, when we just did this, so let's go ahead and go on the next slide, we were able to, here, let's go ahead and for my future one, let's see here. Great. So my current AppExchange apps that we use here, anytime I come into a company, you guys just take a look at AppExchange. I always have a few ones, always the, like IT process management, project and issue management I've used at my last two companies. And my new process, this AvidLogix PM application, 21 objects, 29 tabs. Now, in this whole process, this program is basically part of our company is the loan or the U.S. legal advisors. And the U.S. legal advisors basically are attorneys. Now, they use a on-premise system, and we are looking at integrating the two. Well, we came across this AvidLogix PM built by one of the partners. I remember talking about it when I first came here in January, and they said, hey, is there anything about, the legal side for Salesforce? And did a quick search on AppExchange, found this AvidLogix PM, started engaging them. The current consultant to which we were using to help us build this on-premise application, she actually was aware of AvidLogix as well and became a partner with them. So we started really taking a look at them, and we decided to go with them. So we, in the testing and, of course, I always have to look at the tab count because I'm always hitting up against it. With the current tabs of the project mission management, the IT request management in there, I already knew I had 9 tabs I was taking up. And I freaked out about, when they told me it had, over 20 tabs. I'm like, oh my gosh, so I went in my sandbox. I started deleting all the current applications. And this was only about a month and a half ago. Just right around, I think, Salesforce came out with Aloha apps, like just the announcements, or just before that, but it installed. I'm like, but I didn't even remove everything, and I was like, what is going on here? And it just worked. So I'm like, okay, great. Soon after, I realized that this more of the Aloha apps, and I heard all the, the current, Mark Benioff talking about, and I'm like, what are these? I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And it really was, like, at that moment, I'm like, I just started installing stuff back because I could say it was like a burden lift, and maybe not even a burden. It's really kind of, what it really was a removal of a limitation, kind of what Mark was saying, for success, because I now can install, like, 29 tabs I don't have to worry about. Didn't count against my limit because my customizations, anytime I build anything for any other business unit, there's always tabs. I mean, that is the easiest way for people to get to the data they want for their business side. And that was removed. So that really was a removal of a limitation because the only other alternative at the time for doing it, you could do one of two things. Buy more tabs, which cost effectiveness wasn't really there, or go to unlimited, which then you really had to use everything about unlimited because of that cost. But now, hey, that's been gone. That's been lifted. Not a problem, which was just phenomenal. I loved it. The only downside I would probably say that, having Aloha app, I have no idea what, my tab count is anymore because, some count against it, some don't, which is great. But the good thing about that really is my behavior has changed where what I'm doing is I'm going out on AppExchange a lot more and just installing stuff. I no longer look at the specs and see what the tab count is. If someone comes to me and asks, hey, can we do this thing? I'm like, sure, here, let's just install it. Without saying, oh, well, I'm not too sure about, our tabs. I don't know if it would work, or have to uninstall something I might not be using quite yet and install it or using the sandbox. Because the sandbox is great because you can install it, but unless you don't have your most recent data in there, sometimes it's not really relevant. So, which I think the AppExchange has really changed the paradigm shift in a lot of people's thinking, or it should change your way of thinking of how you do implementations of, this whole cloud computing, which is just great on Salesforce, and I love it. But just being able to, myself and a lot of the other power admins out there, I kind of ask the sneaky question of like, hey, when you guys install apps, do you like install them in, production or, sandbox? I'll probably say 90% of them said, oh, we just install it in sandbox and we play with it, right? Because that is the great thing about the Salesforce platform. We know things work, and we just install it or remove it, and we know things will not break. That's one of the best things to do about it. Now, in ending, I would just like to say, the AppExchange is kind of like the best supporting actress for the current, Salesforce, because what we're going to be looking at is really taking a look and going out. So now that I have AppLogix in there, my company has really kind of gotten on the board with Salesforce, really behind it. We're looking at Financial Force, again, another 26 tab count, right? Another full-blown application. Now, we have a 29 count and a 26 count. We couldn't even have done this before, even to have those two big applications on here, but yet we can now think about it. It really has removed that limitation or even the cost. So what to succeed in and really kind of bring our whole company together has really been able to take, that limitation away from us. In the fun apps, Chatterbox, right? So this is basically, the new Chatter app. So I can now start installing these new things, which has been great. Our HR wants talent, central to be able to, bring on the onboarding and hiring process. So all these, I can just install these and say, hey, here you go. Let's look at it. We have no more issues around this tab limitation because I've always hit that in my 7 years. I've always hit that first and foremost. And now I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm kind of wondering, what is going to be the, my max I'm going to hit? Is it going to be the object count or, what is next? But again, this AppExchange and with the new services, it really is the most supporting role or the supporting actress that the first thing that I would encourage everybody to do anytime anyone comes to you and says, hey, can we do this? Or a department goes, hey, is there anything out there? Go to AppExchange, do a search for it. More than likely you'll find it. There's not much I haven't found on AppExchange from going from my high-tech companies even to my business to consumer here in the U.S. loan audits that, a lot of admin tools are out there, plugins are there, departmentals are there. But yeah, so it's been really exciting, and I most definitely have been able to take use of this Aloha apps right when it came out of the chute. So it's been most definitely one of, a good thing, and it has made me and my company more successful in being able to install these other applications. So, Mark?
Great. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate kind of your insights, kind of telling the before and after story around how Aloha Apps is both transformed both your thinking and your behavior when you visit the AppExchange, and also is helping deliver success to your company. And so you'll stick around, right, Pete, to answer any questions?
Oh, indeed. I love to talk.
Great. And speaking of questions, so it looks like we got a whole group of questions that came in from partners asking about how do you make your apps on the AppExchange Aloha, and what does it mean in terms of publishing an Aloha app. So it's actually very straightforward. To answer the question, any application that is currently a managed package and it's associated with your AppExchange listing will automatically get the Aloha app flower. So if you are a ISV partner or a partner that has a application listing on the AppExchange today and the flower is not there and you have a managed package, it's more than likely you just need to associate it with your listing. It's that straightforward. And for those of you partners out there that don't have it, managed package, think about building a version of your application that has one, and that you can instantly get more exposure. Because I think, just like Pete said, customers now are going to look for these Aloha apps first, especially if they're using Group, Professional, or Enterprise Edition, since it won't count against their apps to object limits. And I think there's a second opportunity around small and medium businesses in that now that a lot of the Group and Professional Edition customers, who tend to be smaller companies, now have this unrestricted ability to install as many apps as they want off the AppExchange. As partners, think about what the commercial opportunity is, and is there a way to create a lower-end SMB-focused applications for that segment now that they have even more ways to get success from the AppExchange. And so to kind of tag along what Pete was saying, here's kind of a set of applications I think that applies to many, many customers, no matter what type of business or industry or processes you have internally. These are all generally applications, I think, that are pretty horizontally applicable to a lot of companies. So take a look at them. Some of them are actually free, so that's always a good thing in addition to being an Aloha app. Some of these apps are fairly inexpensive to use. And it's a great way to get started, so we encourage you to install one or all of these today. So moving forward to the second part of our AppExchange 2 announcement surrounding Chatter, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And for customers who don't know what Chatter is, we'll step through a couple slides to explain what the technology is and some of the business problems that it will solve. Really, I think as information workers, and particularly on the sales and marketing and customer-facing sides of a business, you are inundated with lots of information today. And the challenge is that a lot of traditional collaboration technologies and content management technologies don't really help you make sense of all this information. You actually always have to go out and hunt for it, or inevitably you send out an email to your entire team asking for the latest version of a sales deck or the latest version of a presentation or a spreadsheet. With Chatter, we are introducing a new type of enterprise collaboration. And it's coming this summer to all customers in all orgs at no charge. And the great part about this technology is that it borrows from leading consumer web technologies like Facebook and Twitter and brings them to the enterprise in a secure and trusted way so that you can both follow your coworkers as well as follow the data and the content that's meaningful to you and have it come to you in streams and feeds as opposed to having you send out emails or searching an intranet site or use something like, I don't know, Lotus Notes or SharePoint to find the information and content that you need. And the great part is that it will help you be more reactive in your business. I think your agility will go up so that your sales teams will perform, your marketing teams, as well as your customer support teams, so that you can make better decisions faster, and ultimately, as an organization, you can be more productive. So this is all great news for customers on the call, and we're very, very excited to roll out Chatter in a few short months to all of you. And to help you get even more success once Chatter goes live, we've actually already started building out a new category in the AppExchange called Chatter Exchange today, where there's over 30 applications that are already Chatter ready, meaning that these are applications either built by our own internal labs team or partners, and you'll hear from one shortly, about how Chatter has made their app better. Since if you build on Force.com, now you can instantly tap into Chatter as a new technology so that you can make any application instantly social. And so you can get to take a preview of what eventually you'll be able to install once Chatter goes GA for your org by visiting appexchange.com/chatter and surf around, take a look, and you'll be surprised to see how many types of applications can use the social functionality that Chatter brings. And hopefully this raises the bar in terms of your expectations as customers. When you go to the AppExchange, you will want to kind of look for Aloha apps as well as Chatter apps first when you're evaluating the next types of apps to bring into your company. And so for the partners on the call, you're probably wondering, how do I build a Chatter app? The easy part is that between now and the time the Chatter technology goes GA, you can participate as part of our developer preview, and then reach out to us as partners if you want to publish a finished app. So here's a kind of an example that Financial Force built called Chatterbox. And the great part is that you will get a head start in terms of marketing by listing your application and your innovations on the Chatter Exchange, so that all the customers on this call, for example, will go to find these apps once Chatter goes GA for their orgs. And to kind of give you a little taste of what's possible with Chatter, we've invited one of our top partners, ServiceMax, to come give you a quick demo about what they've built in terms of Chatter and how that makes their applications better. So Asani, I'm going to hand it off to you. Maybe you can quickly introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what ServiceMax does.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Thanks for the opportunity to have a chance to talk to all of the customers on this call and partners and share with them the experience that we've had and the advantage we've had in working on the Force platform, both on both of the announcements that Mark is sharing, the Aloha apps and the advantages associated with that, as well as ability to take a collaboration platform like Chatter and bring that into what we do. So a little bit about my company, ServiceMax. We are an AppExchange partner with Salesforce. We've been around in the ecosystem for the last 3 years. And what we've built is a comprehensive field service management application on Salesforce.com 100% natively. For some of you that may not be familiar with field service, essentially it has to do with any companies that either make and sell equipment or service equipment. It's about managing a field workforce that is driving around in trucks, trying to go to customer locations or installation locations to service these equipment products. So ServiceMax is a full suite of an application that provides companies that engage in that type of service process to run their entire field workforce, optimize the delivery of those. We currently connect directly with the Service Cloud of Salesforce and extend Service Cloud capabilities into providing a full-blown field service capability. The interesting thing for us, just a little bit more about the product. As you can see, ServiceMax is a full suite of applications, which has a phenomenal amount of capability. And by virtue of that, it does have a lot of depth to it in terms of number of objects and tabs. For instance, ServiceMax has about an object model of about 60-plus objects comprised of a innumerable number of tabs and a lot of deep algorithms that crunch and optimize your workforce deployment. So one of the issues that we had been facing was being able to deploy this large footprint application on customer orgs. So the Aloha app capability that was released comes right in time for us. We are an Aloha app as well on AppExchange. And so by virtue of that, we are now able to deploy this big footprint application, ServiceMax, on any customer orgs that show interest in it and provide them this deep capability. And the second aspect of Mark's announcement here is the Chatter. And the fact that we being a 100% native Force.com app, we've been able to take advantage of this phenomenal collaboration platform, enterprise collaboration platform, in very interesting ways and bring the value of that to our customer community almost instantaneously. For instance, what was we looked at the Chatter collaboration capabilities, and as Mark explained it in the last Dreamforce when Chatter announcement was made, it is not only that the people and transactions that are talking to us and giving us an opportunity to collaborate with them on the Chatter cloud, but we extended the concept to having products, equipment installed in the field, connecting to us through Chatter Collaboration Cloud and talk to us. So the demonstration that I'm going to jump into in a second here is basically going to show you a concept around the fact that equipment installed in the field are talking to me and proactively telling me as a service manager any issues that may be brewing so that I can send out a technician, get that taken care of even before customer notices it. So we have actually taken advantage of Chatter Collaboration Cloud Cloud. In fact, the Chatter AppExchange area that Mark was just mentioning, we have an app in there. It is available for all of you for free to take a look at, download, and use. It actually lets you not only take an instant advantage of Chatter transactions and conversations happening in your organization, make a better sense out of it. It also lets you, gives you essentially a code snippet for you to look at how to use Chatter, how to develop on top of that. That was the intent for us to release this Chatter Volume app in the Chatter Cloud. So with that, I'm going to actually switch over to my demo. We prepared a very quick demonstration of showing you how Collaboration Cloud, which is Chatter, can be used in innovative ways to bring business value. The use case here is that this demonstration is, the story is around a medical devices company. It's a company called Health Devices that is in the New York area servicing hospitals, supplying them heart monitoring devices, equipment. So needless to say, these equipments are installed in hospitals, and there is a field repair workforce that is out there providing service to customers whenever any issues that happen in the field with these equipment. So Stacy Epstein here is a service manager who has logged into ServiceMax. As you can see, ServiceMax provides deep capabilities around managing installations of products and service maintenance contracts, jobs in terms of managing field repair work orders, and so on and so forth. So as Stacy logs in, who's the service manager, she looks at the Chatter feed that is on her homepage here. So let me just take a second here to explain. So what is happening here is in ServiceMax, what we've done is we've actually connected the devices or equipment out in the field installed in hospitals through phone home technology into the Chatter Cloud. So what happens is whenever these equipments, when they run self-diagnostics, have any issues, they actually send messages to individuals within the organization through Chatter Cloud. So there are a couple of such warning and critical error messages that have come through here. There are a couple of equipments installed in Beth Israel Medical Center, New York Presbyterian Hospital, and so devices are talking to me using the Chatter Cloud and giving me a heads up that there may be an issue that's going on. So there's a bunch of internal folks that are staying tuned to these, including CEO, who has monitored some of these and who has basically said, hey, this is a high priority issue. Let us stay on top of this, make sure that this situation doesn't get out of hand. So Stacy looks at that, and she actually scrolls down, and so this is the Chatter Volume app that we've embedded within ServiceMax as well. So this Chatter Volume app is available for you on the Chatter AppExchange as well. So what it does essentially is it lets you monitor the Chatter conversations using thresholds. So you can set thresholds to say whenever in a particular area the Chatter volume is, there are more than 5 posts in a given day, I want to stay tuned to that because there may be something hot. It's a hot zone. There's something actively going on. I want to see what that is. It also paints the hot zones, if you will, on the map. So here what we've done is we are staying tuned to the device chatters, as you can see here. And based on my thresholds, it's actually showing me 4 hot spots, one of them a red spot in New York area. That is so the systems that are installed in some of these areas are talking to me about proactive issues that they're reporting to me, and there is a hot zone here. So what I will do is, what Stacy will do, who's the service manager here, is that she's going to look at this. She's going to want to now jump in to take action on this particular hot zone and dispatch a technician right away to take a look at the equipment and find out what the issue is. So Stacy is going to click and launch into ServiceMax's dispatch console. Just a quick view into the dispatch capabilities here is that in ServiceMax, what we do is, again, this whole application is built natively using Adobe Flex technology. So there is this work order that just got created by virtue of clicking on that hotspot. So I can then look up the right technician that has the right qualification to go operate on this product. It actually shows me in this geography 2 or 3 different technicians that are qualified to go operate on this system. And I can, by virtue of just a click or drag and drop of this work order onto a calendar, can get this technician on the way to go to take a look at the problem. So I'm going to switch over now to an iPhone. So let's assume that Stacy has quickly dispatched this technician who has received the job on his mobile device. So this is an iPhone simulator. So we are, again, being a native app on Salesforce, we take advantage of the Salesforce mobile platform to deliver mobile capabilities for the field technicians. So the idea here is the dispatched order comes to my mobile device. As a technician in the field, I can quickly drill down, take a look at what the issue is. All of the details that I need as a technician is available here on the mobile device. But what I want to do is I can also stay tuned to the experts. I can tap into and collaborate with other technicians in the area, also other product experts in my company using the Chatter Cloud technology on the mobile device to instantly resolve customer problems. So what I will do in this example is that this technician wants to go take a look at the product itself and looks at the product feed to see what expert advice is available through the collaboration cloud, which is Chatter, that's available on the mobile device. This is a new product. This technician doesn't know how to solve the problem. He wants to just to take a look at the rest of the chatter that is happening. And the technician sees that there are other technicians in the field that are reporting a similar problem about a fuse having gone wrong with the system. It's not coming up. And as you can see, unlike in the previous world where these type of issues needed multiple days to collaborate and figure out the answer, this technician is able to quickly tap into the tribal knowledge base available not only across other technicians in the field, but from a product expert here, which is suggesting a problem, which is suggesting a solution, saying, hey, swap out this fuse, and you'll be able to take advantage of you'll be able to fix the problem. So using that, this technician is able to quickly go resolve the problem, again, tapping into collaboration cloud with his Chatter and being able to tap into the knowledge available in other field technicians and product experts, and then provide a feedback instantly, saying, hey, this resolved my issue. I'm happy. So essentially, just to recap here, what we saw is the capability that we are able to instantly bring into our ServiceMax field service management application using the Chatter Cloud to set up collaborations of not only individuals but also products installed in the field and use that collaboration cloud in innovative ways, but also instantly provide ability for field technicians on the mobile device using, again, the same Chatter collaboration cloud to collaborate with other experts and instantly resolve problems that otherwise would have taken days or weeks. Mark?
Great. Thank you so much, Thani, for that great demo. Hopefully all the customers on the call can get a sense for what's possible with Chatter. As I mentioned earlier, it definitely raises the bar and makes every Force.com app better and instantly social. And for a lot of the partners on the calls, many of you have been asking questions about how to take advantage of this. Again, start thinking about how to integrate Chatter into your applications, whether it's through the feeds or doing something more advanced, similar to what ServiceMax just demoed. So that concludes the Aloha Apps and Chatter Exchange section of the presentation. From here, I'm going to hand it off to Ryan Ellis, who runs product management for the AppExchange, to give you a brief demo and kind of highlights about what's coming in future releases of AppExchange.
Thanks, Mark. My name is Ryan Ellis. I'm the product manager for the AppExchange, and I work with the development team here to build the marketplace infrastructure that all of our partners are leveraging to deliver apps to you. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about some of the features that we released most recently with the Spring 10 release. These two features are really totally targeted at you and based upon your feedback. So the first major feature is faster, more accurate search. At this point, there are over 800 applications, and I think we looked this morning and there were 895 of them. And many of you have expressed concern that with so many applications, it's difficult for you to narrow it down and find the applications that are going to best work for you and your business. And so we've responded by making search much more accurate and also faster. We've put more results on a page, and we've given you additional controls for doing that filtering. And I'll show you that in a moment. In addition, there's a lot of power with the enormous community around Salesforce and leveraging the reviews that those people are actually writing about those applications. You can see, just like in that demo that Althani just gave, that the tribal knowledge of the community can be an incredibly powerful way to solve your problems and help you find the best solution for you. And so we responded by making our review system even richer and more helpful. And we've made it so that although there are nearly 10,000 reviews on the site, you can quickly narrow down to the reviews that have been most helpful for everyone else and pinpointing whether or not an application is going to work for you. So with that, I'm going to quickly jump into a demo of these two features. And so here you see the homepage of the AppExchange. And just very briefly before I go into that, I wanted to mention the Chatter Exchange that we were just discussing. You can quickly just see that this is our collection of all the many applications that are leveraging Chatter today. You can see the ServiceMax application that Athani was talking about. You can see Financial Forces application that Pete was talking about earlier. And you can view more to view I think there are around 40 applications in the Chatter Exchange today. In addition, I wanted to talk to you about the search feature that we just introduced. So let's say that you've come to the AppExchange and you know that you need an email marketing solution. So you decide to type email marketing in the search box. And you get back 48 results. You can scroll through all of these and read them if you want, but it's quite a lot of data for you to consume all at once. And you just heard about Aloha Apps and how that can actually make it a lot easier for you to install applications in your business and for you to be able to install applications that are larger footprint and may not have fit into your org before. So we decided that we're going to filter by Aloha Apps and narrow it down to have a smaller result set. And now you can see from that 48, we're actually now down to 24 applications, so it's quite a smaller collection. Another really important attribute that people often need to search on is their Salesforce edition. So for example, suppose that you are in the professional edition of Salesforce and you wanted to see what application specifically would work for you, you can filter by that. And you'll see now that there are 17 applications that meet those needs. You can briefly scroll through these and read them, or you could sort by different criteria. So right now we're sorting by keyword relevance so that the highest applications here have the most to do with email marketing. But you could sort by other things. For example, you might want to sort by the rating that application had. You can see here that the Genius application has 5 stars and 184 people have reviewed them, and Marketo had 5 stars and 48 people reviewed them, and so on. Or you could sort by all sorts of other criteria. For example, you might be interested in sorting by the popularity of this application over the last 30 days. The popularity is based upon all of the clicks that all of our customers are doing on the AppExchange site. So the install data, people taking test drives and things like that. And we bubble it up into a popularity score. So you can see, actually in this case, vertical response for AppExchange is the most popular email marketing Aloha app that works for Professional Edition. So we could click into here and read more about vertical response for AppExchange, or hover and read a quick bit about it. But I'm really interested in those reviews. So I'm going to just click on this 75 here. And that takes us into our new community reviews page. So there's 75 reviews on vertical response, and that's quite a lot for me to read. So we help you out by bubbling up the information and putting it into a highlight section up here at the top. So you can see on average that the application got 3.5 stars out of 5. You can see how that was broken down across the ease of use of that application, how much value they perceived they were receiving from it, and whether or not the support from the company was good. And then you can also see a distribution of how those ratings were populated. So in any case, you can see here that there's been a bit of a distribution around it. We have some people who have had a really great experience with vertical response and some who have not. So you might want to dive in and look at some of those reviews and see whether or not you fit into one of those categories or another. In addition, we also bubble up a most helpful section here. So you can see very quickly that we have the most helpful positive review here was, this is a great app for nonprofits and small companies. So perhaps if you were a nonprofit or a small company, you'd be interested in reading this review and learning more about why it works so well for them. Or maybe on the other hand, you can see the most helpful negative review was this one here from Big Company, where they only got 2 stars and 6 people in the community found this helpful. And they claim it's not for large companies. So maybe I'm interested in that, and so I click on Read More. And I can see actually that, in fact, they did a pretty good job of creating a bulleted list of the issues that they encountered when they tried to use that application. And furthermore, you can see that someone else actually commented back to them and suggested maybe you look at ExactTarget instead. So in this way, you can leverage the community knowledge to get your answers more quickly. So just jumping back for a second, you can read all of those reviews in the lower section here. But again, that's a lot of reviews. So maybe I want to narrow those reviews down. Maybe I'm one of those larger companies and I have some concerns about this lower review I saw here. So maybe I could search for the one-star reviews, just like you might do on, let's say, Yelp or Amazon when you were looking at a product or a restaurant you wanted to go to. And then maybe I might also change my sort to by helpfulness so that I can only maybe read the first few ones that were most helpful for the rest of the community. And so you could read through these various reviews here and see if those issues were issues that you face as well. And you can read the comments in line as well. So that is the end of this demo. I'm going to jump back into the slide deck. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some features that we're going to be introducing later this summer. So we have definitely found that sometimes the AppExchange is a little bit more difficult for you to use if you are not a Salesforce system administrator, or if you don't have a Salesforce sandbox, or even if you're just contemplating becoming a Salesforce customer. And as Pete mentioned, many people will install those applications into their sandbox, and that works great for them. But for some of our smaller customers, they don't have sandboxes, they haven't chosen to take that option, and so it's a little bit more challenging. And so in the summer here, we're going to be introducing a new feature on the AppExchange that's going to allow anyone, not system administrators, people who don't have sandboxes, people who aren't even customers, to take free trials of Salesforce and of the partner's application all in one form off of the AppExchange. And you can see below here a sample of what that form might look like. All you have to do is go find the application that you're interested in, click Get It Now just like anyone else would, choose the option to sign up for a new free trial, fill in this form, click Sign Up, and new credentials will be delivered to you that have Salesforce and, in this case, Vertical Response for AppExchange already pre-installed and ready for you to try it out. Again, if you liked that application, maybe then you would go back to your system administrator and have them eventually install it directly into your production system. Or if you are a customer, not a customer, perhaps this would inspire you to actually sign up. So that's the end of my segment. I'm going to hand it back over to Mark.
Great. Thank you so much, Ryan. Hopefully all the customers on the call are going to get excited about visiting the AppExchange and taking advantage of all of the great search and review features that will help you find the right solutions to install into your production orgs. And hopefully this little sneak peek in terms of this new piece of functionality is going to get everyone excited. So no matter what edition you're on, what type of user you are, and even if you're not even a customer, you now have a way to tap into the power of Salesforce.com as ecosystem, as well as a lot of our Sales Cloud and Service Cloud technologies at very, very little risk and very, very little hassle. So I'm going to wrap up the call here with kind of 3 reminders. Many of you always ask us, how do we stay in touch? How do we kind of stay up to date about what's the latest and greatest related to the AppExchange, and what are some of the new apps you should keep your eyes on? First off is to subscribe to our AppExchange blog. So you can tap into this by visiting salesforce.com/blogs and subscribing. And we regularly feature top AppExchange all-star admins like Pete and others from around the globe who share their best practices and their top application picks to our community. We also have a great monthly newsletter that goes out at the end of every month, and you can sign up for that by just visiting the AppExchange homepage and clicking the subscribe button for the AppExchange newsletter on the right side. And for those of you that are on Twitter and Facebook, we also encourage you to follow us. Our Twitter handle is @AppExchangeNews, and also find our Facebook page and become a fan. These are all great ways to stay engaged Obviously, we are pouring lots of energy into making AppExchange a much better experience for you, and also helping partners bring the latest innovative solutions to customers. So please stay engaged, give us feedback, give us ideas on how to make AppExchange even better for you, and also encourage you to take a look at some of the latest applications, things like Chatter Exchange and Aloha apps, and install an app today. And so with that, I'm going to take a few questions from, I guess, the audience. I think a number of questions have come in, and we've been answering them tactically. But I guess there's been a couple questions around Chatter and whether or not it's going to be available. So when it's going to be available and for who is it going to be available for. We are currently planning to make Chatter generally available to all customer orgs across all editions this summer and free of charge. So there is no additional charge or license fee. And the way I think the rollouts will happen is that the feature will be turned on, and it's going to be up to you, your organization, to click a few boxes and make it available to all your users. So please be on the lookout for that, especially if you are a system administrator for your org, and think about what's the right way to roll it out once it becomes available. There's a couple questions about Aloha. And what is that? How do you know that it's an Aloha app? And more importantly, if you're a partner, how do you get the Aloha app flower on your managed package that is listed? I think if you don't have a flower on your managed package, maybe Ryan, you can talk a little bit about how to do that.
Sure. So if you find that you do have a managed package and you don't have the Aloha app flower, please go to the Salesforce.com partner portal and log a case, and we'll help take care of that right away.
And so I think some of the partners that we've heard from when we rolled out Aloha, you have to make sure that you definitely have a managed packet associated with your listing in order for us to reflect that status. And as Ryan said, log a case, and we'll get that sorted for you. We also had some questions from customers around, does Aloha mean that these applications can be installed into any edition? So it does not. As a customer, you still should take a look at the actual specs of the partner or any application on the AppExchange to see what versions and editions it is compatible with. So even though it's an Aloha app, it still may only be installable maybe into Unlimited, Enterprise, and Professional Edition, maybe not Group Edition. So this is a great opportunity to use some of the new advanced search and filtering tools that Ryan just demoed to really help narrow down on the types of applications that, you can install into your org, and also, more importantly, have the Aloha attribute so that they don't count against your system limits. But again, I want to urge you and remind you that the Aloha apps don't instantly mean you can install any app off the AppExchange, and it means that it will work in your edition. It just means it won't count against your limits. But it's really up to that specific application to support some of the features in order for it to be compatible. So if you're a Group Edition or Professional Edition customer, please be aware of this and use some of the new search and filtering tools to help you make the right decisions and find the apps that can bring success to your org. Let's take a couple more questions here. See here. It's an interesting question. A lot of questions and excitement around Chatter. There's a question that says, I understand that Chatter is a feed, and can you spend a few minutes describing more details on how it works and links to objects? So I think the best way for you to learn more about Chatter is to actually go to salesforce.com/chatter. There's a number of YouTube demos that explain not only how you can get feeds from people, but more importantly, the breakthrough with Chatter is how data can actually start chattering to you within an org, just like how Athani showed you in the ServiceMax demo. This could be data objects, it could be pieces of content, could be other systems that are integrated within your Salesforce instance that now can instantly start contributing into the feed important information. And the great part about this is that when Chatter goes GA, it will support all of these things. So beyond just people chattering kind of in a Facebook context, It also allows systems and data to start chattering, and both custom and standard objects will be able to instantly have this capability. And with that, I think we're at the end of the hour. Hopefully everyone found this webinar informative. We'll do our best to get all these answers, all these questions answered offline. And again, I remind you that all of these, the presentations and demos today will be available as a replay so that you can watch it again at your own leisure and share it with your colleagues as well. And with that, I want to thank all the speakers, Pete and Athani, for your contributions, as well as Ryan for giving us kind of a deep dive on the latest and greatest on the AppExchange. And we look forward to seeing you soon on the next AppExchange update. Thanks, everyone.